Ralph Holzfaster is a well-known leader in the agricultural industry. He graduated from Paxton High School and attended Regis University in Denver, Colorado before joining the Air Force as a pilot. In 1956, he returned to the family homestead south of Paxton and met a young school teacher named Beverly Long.
I wouldn't change a thing. If you had told me 70 years ago that I would marry a farmer and be as happy as I've been, I'd have said, you got to be kidding. But it's been a wonderful life.
Well, I think Beverly was probably the nicest thing that's happened to me. I mean, we just got along fine, and we've had a lot of years together, and I admire her, and she gets along with me, and we just support one another. Back when we got married, we went on custom harvesting, and the first year I took my 3 brother-in-laws with me.
I would say they represent agriculture, caretaking, good stewards of the land, always looking for different innovative ideas for crop production, how to take care of the land, the residue that they leave on the ground for the following year, the concern about the water usage and that impact on how that is, and trying to always be more efficient in their operation. I
was in Texas and I saw they had some wide blades that go underneath the stubble and cut it, and it was kind of soil conservation. They left everything on top but killed the weeds. And so I really got interested in that. And I worked with Charlie Fester at the University of Nebraska, and then we sold. And Noble sold, the company sold a lot to Sunflower, Kraus, Flex King, those people, and then they helped sell a lot of blades. And that over about a 10-year period until chemical fallow became popular.
Ralph's interest in irrigation projects led him to become a dealer for Lindsay Manufacturing with a location in Ogallala.
Ralph Holzfaster drove by the irrigation plant in Lindsay, Nebraska, saw a center pivot being tested and thought that would work on the rolling hills around his area, stopped, got a commitment to sell one, and the rest is history.
Ralph served as a board member for the Nebraska Public Power District for 24 years. He was appointed to serve on the Nebraska Ethanol Authority and Development Board. His lengthy list of organizational service shows his commitment to economic development and promotion of ethanol.
Energy is a driver of economy, and I really believe that. And that's why I got involved in ethanol.
With Ralph being one of the original founders and instrumental on the board to get the ethanol plant open in the Wheatland area has been a tremendous impact on not only the locality but on the state level and even economically on the national level because of all the ethanol that's shipped all over the United States.
They worked together to do that, and we formed NRDs, and we built a lot of stuff and did a lot of great things that makes Nebraska a great state, and it's really dependent on agriculture. And that's just great. I think our future is bright.
Ralph and Beverly's family are currently engaged in cattle feeding operations, farming, and running Holzfaster equipment.
Now, I've employed a lot of people, like on harvest and up in we had an implement place and an irrigation place. And out here, we've had a lot of people that have been good and trusted. They've been able to do a lot of great things for us.
That those people who had worked for Ralph for several years went off and started their own business and become very successful. And when you stop and talk to them, they're saying, thank you to Ralph, tell your dad hello, how's he doing, how's Beverly doing, that there's that genuine relationship he has with those people, and then helping them getting started, even if it's in competition with what Ralph was doing. There's that genuine, he wants you to be successful.
Son Tim owns and runs Ole's Big Game Steakhouse and Lounge in Paxton. The commitment to agriculture and economic development continues with service on many state and national boards, as well as local work on housing and tourism. In 2013, the family co-hosted the Cattlemen's Ball charity event to raise funds to support the UNMC Epley Cancer Center.
Beverly and I have been had cancers, and we survived, and we just wanted to do something for that, and everybody else, there was nobody turned it down.
The other thing that we always learned, that if if something can be good for us, for Ralph, Bev, Tim, John, Patrick, Mike, it should be good for our neighbors and our community and the state, you know, and just work together and try to continue to preserve this special lifestyle we have here in Nebraska.
I feel that we were all raised to feel the need to give back to the industry and the community and the state that we love.
Mr. and Mrs. Holzfaster, if you would join us at the stage.
Yeah, yeah. A little slow there. You're good. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. What on that, buddy? It is that. Now you can talk as long as you want. Okay. All right. I've been warned that I couldn't talk over 2 minutes, and boy, I can't get it all in 2 minutes. But I just want to introduce my wife, Beverly, and she's the rock that really everybody stands on. She's just been a great companion, and for 64 years we've been together, and really never had a fight. And we had 5 kids, and Tim, Pat, John, Mike,
Amy.
and Amy. I was counting the boys, and I didn't know before I got to the girls, but anyway, we had 5 kids, and they've been active with Ole's, and Tim has been doing that, and Patrick he works for Levi Strauss, and he comes home about every 3 or 4 weeks and makes sure the trees are trimmed and the Christmas lights get up and taken down, and he does a lot of that stuff for us, and John and he's been on the corn board and the national corn board and the bean board, and has been active in promoting ethanol with race cars and NASCAR. And then Mike came home, and he lost his wife, and they had two children, and Mike has done a great job of raising them, but he did come up to Ogallala, and he took over the irrigation business. And Amy has been in Denver, and she's been a great fundraiser for Children's Hospital in the Diocese of Denver. And so they've all stayed close to home, and they've been a great family, and that's really appreciate that. Beverly and I, she's been a good mother, and we've worked together to do that, and the family's important. And we've got all our grandkids, and most everybody's in Nebraska or close to it. And I just wanted to make a couple comments about some things. When you get old, you remember a lot of stuff that you've seen happen. And in 1930, I can remember when they there was some people from North Platte decided they'd make a coffer dam in the Platte River, North Platte River, and they'd try and divert the water across from the North Platte to the south side of the South Platte. And they created the Southern Reservoir in Lake Maloney and put in a hydro plant to help pay for it. And they really did a lot. And at that same time, when they did that and they had all the canals dug, some people down at Holdridge decided they were going to make a dam, and they made Kingsley Dam, which was the second largest earthen dam in the world at that time. And that is the second largest visiting spot in Nebraska now. And it was just a great development, and nobody had a good idea, and everybody got behind it, and they worked, and the legislature worked with everybody, and nobody seemed to fight everything. And we accomplished a lot of things. And those guys that did that, they made canals and they diverted the water underneath Paxton and the railroad track and the Highway 30 and the South Platte River, and they come out on the other side in a 12-foot tube. And those guys didn't have any computers. If they'd have had computers, I think they'd have made water run uphill. Then there was, they decided that in the state, there was a lot of people decided we needed to have sustainability, and we created NRDs, which is watching the water, because the governor of Texas told Morris Kramer, who was the state senator at that time, if we could trade all our oil for your water, we'd do that. And so the water is really important, and we have an abundant supply of water, and that's really going to be worth a lot down the road. And then I had the fortunate experience to be on the NPPD board for a while, and I became to appreciate public power. And the OPPD and Lincoln Electric and NPPD have been in the lowest quartile as far as rates go because of public power. And they've got great supplies. We have nuclear power and a great, cleanest, most efficient coal power plant, I suppose, in the world, Gerald Gentleman. And so they've really done a great job there. And we have public power, and we have a great educational system in Nebraska. And we've got great community colleges, and the colleges system is a university system, Creighton, and we're really fortunate to have all that here. And it's just because of that I think Nebraska is such a great state. It's just amazing that the things that they've accomplished in Nebraska, because they seem to work together, and I hope we can continue to do that. So thank you very much. I really appreciate this. You want to say anything?
Go ahead.
I am not the public speaker, but I have two thank yous I'd like to say. You know, all of you know, behind anybody that accomplishes anything, you got to have a really good relationship with your banker. So, Chad Adams and Steve Krause, thank you so much for being here tonight. And more than that, I am so grateful that our family knows where the real thanks goes and where the real blessings come from. So thanks, all good things, to our Lord in heaven. And Father Brian, thanks for keeping us on the straight and narrow, or at least for trying.
I know my 2 minutes are up, but I just wanted to say something about the Chambers of Commerce. I worked with the Omaha Chamber of Commerce, and we'd go back, and Ag Committee would go back, and the Lincoln Chamber and the Omaha Chamber have really helped in rural Nebraska. And I really did appreciate that, and I think we need to give them all a big round of applause for the way they look at their neighbors out west. Because we used to think, if we're going to have a meeting out west, we'd get up west to Grand Island. Why, that was far enough to go. And we've got a lot of stuff out there that really can be developed and worked on. Thank you.
Good at the cause. Okay, I'm going to count to 3. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. One more. 1,